the kickoff office is a scene of a big debate at the moment. This is why we love football, because it always gets us excited. We've got opposing sides here, and it's all Gordon Eggerson's fault.
As always.
The car editor's been loading up the Bafana squad, and he's disgusted that poor old Dean Furman's been left out. After all that running and sweating he's done in the course of the last 18 months. Madala here, Zola, thinks it's the correct decision on Eggerson's part, and that a guy is warming the bench for Doncaster Rovers, who should really not be playing for Bafana. Why are you so upset, Ryan?
Well, shouldn't we get him his wrong opinion out of the way first, and then I'll tell you what's really going on?
You must talk first. You must tell us why you're upset that
he's been dropped. Tell us what's wrong with that.
Okay, well, yes, he's not playing as much as he should at Doncaster. Of course not, but he started the last game. But over the last year, since he's come into the side against Brazil, he's been Bafana's best player on a consistent basis.
But should you stick to someone who can't even catch a game at Doncaster? Is he good enough to play for Bafana?
He's done nothing. Yes, of course he has. He's done nothing wrong for Bafana.
He doesn't catch a game for Doncaster.
But has he done anything wrong for Bafana?
But for how long are we going to pick someone who doesn't even catch a game for Doncaster?
Okay, so why are we picking Tukelo Ranti then?
But Tukelo Ranti is a different case, Cooper. That's what I said to you. It's a different case because he is a striker. We don't have strikers in the PSL who score goals. No, he is a striker. We need to speak to him. And when he plays for Bafana, he plays very well. But whereas Dean Furman, he's not catching a game at Doncaster. And what is Doncaster anyway?
Okay, what's Bournemouth? But anyways, my point is this. You say it's different because we don't have strikers in South Africa. Tukelo Ranti is not coming on. He's on the bench, sometimes not even getting a game for Bournemouth. You say it's different because he's a striker. But then we've got someone like Tembiso Gobo at Wits, who scored 7 goals in the last couple of weeks. Why not him?
Look, let me clarify something. First of all, I don't agree with Gordon Eggerson calling up players who don't catch a game for their clubs. And number 2, like I said to you, Tukelo Ranti's case is different. He's still young, and we're playing a way ahead now for Bafana after the World Cup in Brazil. And Tukelo Ranti fits in the plan to go for Bafana in future. Whereas for Dean Furman, he doesn't fit in the plans to go forward.
Okay, but if you're saying this is the team that's we planning there, then why shove him aside?
You know what? Okay, I disagree with that part as well. Okay, I disagree with Shawa being in the squad. But he's playing for Kaizer Chiefs. He's playing for his club. Here we're talking about someone who doesn't catch a game for Doncaster.
Yeah, but now you're contradicting yourself. You're saying that we're picking a side going forward.
But why?
But maybe tell us who you think should be the midfield, because I have to agree with Cooper that Furman has consistently been our best midfielder in Bafana colours for 18 months. It is a worry that a guy who is perhaps, if I had to be cruel, and it's not nice to say this, but I've always thought of him as a bit of a poor man's Eric Tinkler. No disrespect either to Tinkler or to Dean Furman, who's a great, honest player, but the fact that he is a bench warmer at Doncaster shows certain limitations. We should be worrying, how come a guy who can't get a game at Doncaster has, in most instances, excelled for Bafana and looked better than those around him? But we've got problems. Who, if you drop him, do you pick that's going to make that midfield work for us?
First of all, my question is, if we have Dean Furman, who is saying that is our best Bafana player, okay, for how long are we going to stick to someone who doesn't even catch a game for his club? Moving to the future, how long are we going to stick to him?
Who do we go with then?
No, but we've got a lot of midfielders. Dichacho is playing every week for
Dichacho's on the side, but okay,
who comes in for Furman? Yeah, he's doing very well for his club.
But you say moving forward, but how old is Yeye? So then it's not moving forward,
but Yeye is playing for his club and is playing very well as well.
Yeah, but no, but you were talking about moving forward, but
my question
is, moving us
how long are we going to stick to someone who's not playing for his club?
So
that's my question.
Just on this,
if he was playing for his club, then I was going to say, okay, it's fine.
Yeah. It is a question. If a guy's not getting regular game time, why is he in the national side? I'll park that for a second.
Yeah.
Looking at the guys you're putting forward, KG, the moment he's back in the team, all the haters are going to come out again and say, why are we picking this guy? He only plays sometimes for Fulham in the bottom of the league.
Hlompho Kekana is a very good midfielder. He's very consistent.
He's someone I'd want to see playing more.
He scores an odd goal here and there as well. So why not give him a chance?
An odd great goal. I'd pick Twala and Hlompho because when we're under the cosh, both of them can step forward and score.
This whole thing about Dean Furman for me is just out.
I think it's a bit harsh though, Zols, because it won't be the first time we've seen a national team picking a guy who doesn't get club action. Germany on example where a guy can be playing badly for his club. Before the 2010 World Cup, Podolski and Klose neither were in great goal scoring form. They stayed in that side. That side operates almost as a club team. They know each other, they get success. We're very different. We're not in the same space.
A defensive midfielder who doesn't play for his club. A defensive midfielder.
going by selections, we need 2 defensive midfielders always, because when last did a Bafana coach pick only 1 defensive midfielder?
Exactly.
Even Clive had 2.
Look, my point is that Furman's been dropped. I don't know Gordon's reasons for it, but the thing is, Furman has not let this country down since that debut game against Brazil. Why is he suddenly dropped? Is it because he's not playing? Then why is Ranti playing? Then why is Petosi in the squad? It doesn't make sense.
In 2001,
so Gordon is inconsistent in his selection.
Okay, when Carlos Queiroz was a coach, Hernan Kajala didn't have a club, and Carlos Queiroz kept on picking him. And my question was, for how long is he going to pick someone who's clubless and someone who's not playing at all? Because eventually it will catch up, regardless whether Dean Furman is playing well for Bafana or not. But the fact that he's not playing for his club at all, it will catch up with him.
It's not at all. I mean, he started the last game. He's still coming on as a sub every now and again.
It's not regular.
Okay,
He's not
guys,
someone who's...
I think there's 2 important points. Zola's point is, at some point you've got to cut it when a guy is being picked and is not getting regular club action. It can't go on indefinitely. It becomes a worry. Spain worry about Iker Casillas not playing enough.
Yeah.
Ghana have a question about the Orlando Pirates reserve guys. Nanda Torres, remember him? These are issues. But I think Zol's, it is also something, if a guy has consistently performed for the national team, it becomes quite a difficult thing to argue he should be out. And it leads to a more worrying question. Why is it that a guy who can't get a regular game at Doncaster is still able to look better than most in a Bafana shirt? It shows how far our standards have slipped.
Have you tried Hlompho Kekana?
No, we've got to start doing that. You're absolutely right.
We need to try him and give him a chance and see whether he can play or not.
And there's some things we may not know.
We cannot say that Dean Furman has been our best player. Who else have we tried to see that? Is there anyone else who can play that role?
We didn't need to try anything because Dean doesn't let us down.
Okay, but here's something. Maybe you're thinking like this.
Give Hlompho Kekana a chance. Let him get a chance to impress. And then we can say that Dean Furman is better or not.
Clive Barker's revolution of Bafana started with a 2-match tour of Australia where he tried new players. This is a good time to give Hlompho 90 minutes. Son, I'm not going to take you off. Go and do what you do for Sundowns. I think that is a very good argument to say,
and build up his
I have guys in mind here who can do the job.
Okay, well, let's take
there might also be a reason.
Just hang on. Hlompho's not in the squad.
No, that's a great point. That is, of course, another question. Why not? There is another point we should be making. Gordon's picking this team. He's pretty much knows he's on his way out. That also raises questions. You know, how does he prepare for the future when it's not his future? We also don't know, there might be an issue where Dina said, I need a break, I need to get myself sorted out, I need to find a place where I can play.
But that does not come across in the press conference. And so again, that's selection irregularities, it's not proper communication. But look, let's agree to disagree. You're making some, outrageous statements pre-election. No, listen, Zol, some of the players that missed out, tell me quickly. Teko, do you think he deserved?
No, Teko, no.
Cheese
I
boy?
wouldn't. Cheese boy, no, it's way too soon.
Yeah,
he didn't play for
back.
Sundowns. He just came back now.
What about Keegan Dolly then?
Keegan Dolly.
He's been a stand-up player for Ajax in a very difficult season.
Considering the type of oppositions we have, I would have called him up, and I would have dropped Shaka. Because first of all, if Chiefs beat ASEC Abidjan, they're going to be playing in CAF Confederations that weekend anyway.
And we'll have another
fight. So Chief players are going to pull out and then we're going exactly. So I would have tried Keegan Dolly, because in games like no offense to Australia or New Zealand, but I mean in games like this you do need to see players like them as well.
Just a point of correction: Australia regularly go to the World Cup, and even New Zealand. Although New Zealand have easy. Australia qualified of Asia. New Zealand have it easy.
Final one.
Are Chiefs going to beat ASEC?
Chiefs.
You're missing
no, that's an interesting question. That's a tough game.
Didn't make the squad this time.
Yeah, that's.
You know what? That's a bit.
It could have something to do with his trials abroad and that, but it is odd. I mean, really, 7 weeks' time.
And Gordon is when he tries players, I've got only problem with him. He's not consistent. He tries players, he drops them, and then he calls others, and then he tries them, he drops them, and then sticks to his regular. If you're going to try players, you need to try them on a regular basis and give them like 6 to 7 matches and see if something is working or not. He calls up species of Vilakazi and then it drops him. Hlompho Kekana and then it.
Although Zola, it's easier said than done. I don't know if any South African national coach has ever been given 6 or 7 matches to try out players without us, the media, and the masses of fans getting on their back. It's very difficult to be able to do it. It would be wonderful if, without pressure, you could experiment for that long. But one has to say, Hlompho is a great example of a where is he? It's actually a bigger question than where is Dean, because at least Zola Kansa is on the bench at Doncaster. Hlompho is one of the people who's helping Sundowns challenge Chiefs for the title.
That's true.
So I'd like to just
call it 1-1.
No, I think Zola has won on penalties. Before the debate spilled over into the public domain, I was siding with you a bit, Coops, but I think Zola's has won this.